This tutorial will cover releasing files in Data Sentinel as well as deleting files in Data Sentinel. The first thing we'll cover is the releasing of a file in Data Sentinel. As you can see, the file that I have currently highlighted, the text file, is at revc and that the icon is gray. The gray icon simply means that the particular file is released and can't be modified by anybody. So I'm going to walk you through a scenario where we want to make a revision to this particular text file. The first thing you would do is select the checkout button, and when you do that, a pop-up window will present itself, and in the pop-up window it'll inform you that the file is already released and ask you whether or not you want to create a copy of this file into your working folder. I'm going to go ahead and select yes. You'll see it put a copy of that file into my working folder. I'll go ahead and add this one to the database. Select add. I'm going to keep the description the same as it was, and you'll notice that Data Sentinel has incremented this particular addition to revd. Data Sentinel knows that there's a revc currently in the database, and so automatically will increment the revision levels. We'll go ahead and select OK. And you'll notice now that there are two text files with the same name in the project window. One is the release file at revc, and the other is the new one that I just added at revd. And you'll notice that the icon for the new one is blue, which means it's been checked out by me. I'll go ahead and check this back in, since we're not going to be changing or modifying the file for this particular example. You'll notice the icon is now green, which means that the file has been checked in and it is in work and available to be checked out and modified by others. Before you can release a file, you have to first lock it down. So we'll go ahead and select the lock button. And you can lock down more than one file at a time. In this particular case, we're just working with one file. And you'll notice that the icon has turned red, which means that the file is locked. And at this point, no users can check this file out and modify it. It's locked down. It can't be edited or changed. Then we're going to go ahead and select the release button. And you'll notice that a pop-up window presents itself again. In this window, you would have all the files that you have selected for release. You can release more than one file at a time, but again, we're just working with one file, so we will hit OK just for this one file. And I get a warning message. And the warning message simply says that signature blocks are empty. Now, in Data Sentinel, one of the things I haven't discussed yet is digital signatures. You can turn digital signatures on and off individual folders. This particular folder, the Leading Edge Design Data folder, has digital signatures turned on, which means you cannot release a file until all the digital signatures have been signed. So let me just demonstrate to you where to go for that. We'll hit OK since we can't release it. Go over to the far right and select the upper Data tab. In the Data tab, go to the far right and select the Signature tab. You'll notice that in this particular folder that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roles that require signatures before the file can be released. Design, stress, manufacturing, weights, and quality. Each one of these roles has a set of people who are qualified or who are allowed to sign for that particular role. In my case, I've put myself obviously in all of them. Let me go ahead and show you what happens when you hit sign. It puts my name in, or whatever user is signing, and the date that they signed. And we can go through all these and sign them. There's also an NSR button, which means no signature required. It'll put NSR in the name field and the date that it was signed. And once you're done, you hit the save button. And the data has successfully been saved. Now we'll go back to this project window and we'll attempt to release the file again. Go over to the release button, highlight the text file, select OK, and this time it releases the file without any warnings. And you'll see here now the file has been incremented to revd. And that's basically how you release a file in Data Sentinel, revise and release a file. And by the way, these icons up here on the very top, the lock, the unlock, the release, the archive, and the delete buttons. All those buttons are user specific. There are only certain users that are allowed those higher privileges. The higher privilege features are the lock, unlock, release, and delete. Most organizations only have a few people who can do those particular operations. And let me just demonstrate the delete. If you delete on your user side of the window over here in your working directory, we can select a file, hit the delete button, and the file is deleted. And when it is deleted on the working side, it is permanently deleted. On the other hand, I won't demonstrate it right now, if you delete a file in the project window, and again only certain people would have this elevated privilege, if you delete a file over here, it is sent to the backup folder in the Windows directory. This is just a safety feature just in case somebody accidentally deletes files that they didn't intend to. You'll be able to go into the backup folder and retrieve them. So that's how you delete. And that's basically releasing and deleting of files in Data Sentinel.